Hello, folks. How are you doing? Hello, hello. All right, all right, all right, all right. Okay, let's get this going. I think I have the red platform is wrong. Let me just check that. All right. All right, folks. Let's get us going. All right. Sorry, all I guys. I was like talking to some folks in Discord at the same time. Ah, okay. Let's get it started. Let's see where we were yesterday. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's get it started. Let's see if we can get it started. All right. So this is going. Do we want to have this going or not? Hmm. All right. So we had to like get vector thing, and that we'll see. Okay. Good. And let's see. What can we do somewhere here? So basically this gives us like left, right, up, down, and we want like diagonals, right? And like I've seen like some requirements of like some positions of software development that are really like they ask you to like that you have experience with Word and stuff. See, I've seen those, yeah. Me and Bogdan were ranting about software engineers asking for software, like asking for like skills in other tools and stuff like that, and like PowerPoint and stuff. Like it doesn't mean that so like when you see there, like it's just like I think it's when you see some of those skills that they ask for in the software developer um, in some positions, is that they expect you to have some knowledge of like doing presentations and doing some Word documents, because sometimes like I think the majority of times just like laziness. They just copy pasted from somewhere else that had like those things as listed and they just keep it. But in other situations, it's like it's kind of important that you know how to write and kind of talk to people. And I think that's one of the things that software developers, in a lot of situations, they kind of lack, and that's why they like sometimes get some problems. Like, yeah. Okay. String name. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Like you kind of saying that you're measuring everybody by what you do. That sometimes can be like uh a hard measurement to keep, because like if you think too high of yourself, then everybody else is going to be bad no matter what they do, and that's okay. Like in certain positions, in certain situations, okay, that's I don't think that's like very okay, but uh it depends like a lot on the positions that you're in, right? Like there are certain positions where it requires that you will kind of uh welcome and understand what other people are like, where they are, and but there are other positions where that doesn't really matter much. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a nice position to be in, not gonna lie. Yeah, like we're talking like about recruiters now. It's like sometimes not like a very good position to be in. Like if you are compassionate and stuff about other people, like sometimes, because sometimes like recruiting is a very egregious job, right? Okay, so there's only this one. Hey, okay, so okay, I don't have like input Yeah, I think I understand what you're saying. Hey, Anna. How are you doing? Anna, how are you doing today? All right. So let's get us started here. I'm trying to get us like some velocity, I guess. Current velocity in pixels. Like I'm trying to get us like to get an angle, I think. But uh I'm not 100% sure. So like we want to make sure, so like what are we trying to do here? We're trying to make sure that we get like direction, like some to look somewhat isometric. And uh because right now if I press right it just goes right, left, down, up. And we want to make sure that when I press down I want it to this. If I go left I want it to go there. Sorry, what's cassavas? So we're like some guys playing Vintage Story. Just give me 1 second. So for the cassavas, I would just put them in a barrel and just put in water, I guess. If there's if like we have like a full stack, I would just do that so they can dry, so like they can get wet, so then we can peel it and let them dry. Okay, so let's get this. Oh, what were we seeing? So L dot velocity, get real velocity. So let me try to print this out. Oh, and let's see what is this doing. Let's take this off. So velocity is 0. If I press right, I think we should put it in the warehouse. Okay, so this is interesting that we are like 25. The current position is 159.26. And then it starts moving when we get the number. So we could extrapolate like the direction from here, right? So from this, what am I printing? Get real velocity. It's just going to multiply by 300 the speed. When are you doing this? Oh wait, the input direction. Oh yeah, well, we're calculating. This is not going to work, right? Because the input direction is going to give us the current direction based on left, right, and that one. How is this calculated? Gets the input value by specifying 4 actions, positive, negative. The method is used when getting an input vector, such as joystick, was limited to 1, dead, the default dead zone, blah, blah. So I think basically what we want to do is if we are going down, so let's kind of math this out. So if we do have, if we're going like, we do move left, we want our velocity to be, so if you're pressing left, you're going to go on that direction, so like north west. So we want you to go like vector 2. It's going to be left, so it's going to be minus 0.5. And it's going to be up. That's going to be 0.5. And oh yes, sorry, like there's like some extras. Yes, sorry. Yeah, I forgot about that. Discussing about maximum size of cassavas that you can put in a box. So this would be if you move left. Elif. If we move right, and vector 2 is going to be 0.5 minus 0.5, because if we press right, so do we have paint here. Let me check. Here, paint. Okay, so if we look at the axis, right? If we want to press left, we want it to go that way. If we want to press, like, let me put some colors here. So on the something like on the remote, right? Like if we press left, we want left is going to be up. If we press right, it's gonna go this way. If we press down, it's going to be going that way. And if we press up, we're gonna go that way. So positive is going to be up. So this one is going to be negative on X. And Elif. Yes, cassavas, you need to always grind them into flour. I think that's the only way to consume them. So move up is going to be a vector 2. I forgot about that. Vector 2, so move up is positive, so it's going to be 0.5, 0.5. And then else if move down, vector is going to be minus 0.5 and minus 0.5. Okay. Okay, I think that's our direction. It's going to be somewhere like this. So var direction equal a vector 2 of like 0, 0, I guess, right? Because if there's nothing like this, then we want our velocity to be equal to direction times speed. Speed, right? Okay, there we go. So now, if we do input dot is action pressed, and I think that's basically what we want. That you go there, there, and there. Let's see if this works. So like if we just stop all that and save this, let's see if this works. Let's increase the size of this. So you're here. And if you go right, press D, nothing happens. Okay, the buttons are not working. Cool, that's great. Because direction, it has to be that, right? Or maybe, I think you need to be that. All right, sir. Have a nice evening. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, so there we go. And let me just run again. And let's see. If I go right, left, up, down. Okay, so it's incorrect, right? Like I used the wrong thing, the wrong action, the wrong function. And I'm also like mixing up the axis. Why is that? Isn't X like this one? I think I might have mixed it up. I thought like X, Y, but is it Y, X? Interesting. So you, for example, what is your positioning here? Oh my god. Where's that? Where's the position? Why can I not find it? This one. Okay, so I thought that red was... Yeah, red is X. You see, like it's changing X. Did I mess up the code? Let's see. For sure I messed up the code, right? So if it's not just press, is action pressed. It's the last one. Okay. So vector, it is a type, and when you provide it x float and x and y. Oh my god, I pressed the wrong button. No! Come back. So what is wrong here? So if you press left, I want you to move that way and up. Oh, is it reverse? Like, is this like that? I think that might be it. Let's see. There we go. So right, left, down, up. Okay, cool. So there, if you go up, down. Okay. I think we're good. I think we kind of have like the isometric movement there, if I'm not mistaken. So there you go. So that was one of the things that we wanted to tackle for today, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So the other two things that we wanted to tackle today was the collisions thing and the camera, right? So collisions thing. So one thing that we saw here is that the collision, like, can we do the camera first? Okay, let's try that, having a camera first. See if it is easier for us to understand what's happening. So first of all, offset, let's see this one here. The camera is going to be right there, if I'm not mistaken. There we go. And if we can move it up, down, left. Okay, there we go. So if we do the camera here and if we play, it shows us everything because maybe it's too, maybe it's too big. So if we zoom 0.5, what happens? Okay, it goes even further out. If we do like 5, it's really into the game, right? Like, and it's the position is going to be right there. What if we attach the camera to our friend here? What happens? Okay, that sounds great. If we're moving it and it's moving the camera in the same positioning, the only issue is that the camera is not in the same position as our friend, right? So this together, if we just move them, both of them together, can I just click here and move the whole thing into here? I think we can, right? So if we did this and if we pressed play, we just like, oh no, until it comes out, right? Like, so there's a problem with the collisions and we have to find out what is happening with the collisions. Okay, so one of the tutorials that I was looking at, I think like this, I think this is good, right? Let me just try to get out of this craziness. So we are centered in the map, right? Like, and if we move, I think that's what we kind of want, is for it to just move when we need it to move, right? So there we go. So like that. And we go there, we go to this side, we go to that side. Something that I'm noticing is that there's something strange. Oh, because Oh, wait. Isometric is not. So if we go, interesting. So we just assume that there was like a, I don't think it's going to be 0.5. It's going to be a little bit more skewed, right? Because this is not going to follow the, you see, like the size, if I'm pressing left, right? Like the size that we have between these pieces here. So this size here and that size is going to get bigger and bigger. And I don't think that's what we want. We want less than that. So it's not this one, it's this one. And if we go to the script, let's see. Like, what is this? Hey, hello, has been less. How are you doing today? What is this? Right now, it's the beginning of something. And it is, I'm trying to like do a game. Like for right now, it doesn't do much. As you can see, like it just breaks itself in. But the idea here is like we're very in the beginning of everything. So like this is going to be like the first game that I'm playing around with, trying like though and stuff like that. But the objective, like the idea here is to create some sort of like farming game with which you have like a component for like farming, but at the same time there's going to be like more a component of market and such, and that's basically the main thing that we are trying to kind of achieve here. So our sorry, I'm just setting up text. I forgot to set up the text here. And so basically what we are trying to like achieve here. So if we, I think we can we do that? No, we cannot. Sorry. Can I just not render you for right now? Rendering. Okay, not really. So, but like the idea, I know where I can show you that. So the idea here is we will have like some sort of like a farm situation here where your little player will go around and you'll be able to farm in some area. Like this is just like a sample that I just put some tiles down to see how the tiles would look and stuff like that. But the idea is that like you'll farm somewhere here and then you'll have your house. There's going to be like a docking station where people will come in to buy your crops. And then there will be like other buildings in the future and stuff like that. And so this doesn't exist when you begin. So the main play loop is you're going to come here. You need to take care of your like farm. So you need to farm, you need to water plants, you need to harvest your plants, and then eventually there will be some sort of you need to make a decision because there's going to be like some sort of like a city, and that city is going to buy crops from you. But you need to decide if you want to sell it yourself or if you want to like pay somebody to sell them for you. And that's where like some part of this will come in. You'll have like some area here where people will come in with trucks or airships. I'm like still unsure like what would be like the most interesting things, like giving like the assets, like giving like the idea behind the game and stuff like that. But I like the idea of like you're living in a floating island. So that's something that like it was floated the other day. And I like that idea. And then you'd be pushing things here. So like eventually there's going to be some sort of like automation that allow you to do all these things. And the decision that is going to make you for like the sell process part of it is that you will lose time if you go to sell by yourself, but you'll do more money. So you need to juggle between like those two. Um, and so that's one of the parts of the game. Then the game is going to evolve. You'll be able to do more complicated recipes. You will be able to do recipes with your ingredients, like with your crops. And those crops, like then you can sell them for like products, like with better, like if you do refined products, they'll be better and you can sell them better, right? So there's like a like there that mechanic there. There's going to eventually, I think, maybe some bees, but that's going to be like pretty much more in the future. That will allow you to do wax, and like not all the farm is going to be food either. So there are going to be like other products that will come out of your farm that you will be able to sell and stuff like that. So, but to start with, like this, as I said, this is like the first game that I'm doing ever. I have like no art at all. I have no idea like how to do art and all those things. So like I'm starting from pretty nothing. So my objective is to try to get like the simplest thing I can do right now, and the simplest thing I think I like to make this at least playable is to have a way for you to do some crops, and have a way for you to sell some crops, and eventually add something else to it. So basically, that's what we're trying to achieve here before we just like go crazy and add a bunch of other things. So to answer your question, like this is like a lot of these things are just like placeholders because I need to learn how to do like this art as well. But this is not kind of like the visual that I think I'm going for. I'm going for more of a steampunky vibe. So I'm not 100% sure like if this is like the type of thing that I want. But the idea is like I got this asset where I got like these tiles. Basically, these tiles are the tiles that I'm using as a base, just so I have something so I can see what I'm doing. But so I haven't started looking into the art and to how to make it. You were on board until you were proposing the resetter item shop, moonlighter shop mechanic. Oh no! Why is that? Why don't you like it? Like in the end, I'm trying to do some sort of like a spin as well, so you don't like have like, oh yeah, there you go, like yet another farming game that just like go farm your plants and you just harvest, and then you have like a ship that comes to your base and you just sell it there and you get money, right? I was trying to do like a little bit just like the selling part doesn't. Yeah, I hear you. So the idea that like what I was like my plan, like my future plan for this, maybe to decrease like repetitiveness, it was like the future is that like there is not going to be one city, right? There's not going to be one city. There are going to be like multiple cities, and each city will have like their own main demands and their like lower demands, and there's going to be some sort of like a market system. So the idea would be where you sometimes it makes sense for you to sell something to a particular city, some other times it does not, right? So like I'm talking about like something like that's going to be a little bit more in the future, but because like I don't think I can achieve like all this like in the first go around. But so there's going to be like some sort of like an economy system where like have multiple cities. You need to decide when you're going to sell stuff, where do you want to go sell stuff, and there's like penalties in both cases, right? There's going to have to be, you'll have to have some sort of storage to save your things. We are going to start thinking about things like are these perishable goods? If they are, they will rot wherever you have them and they will be spoiled, right? So there's like some more, I think, more advanced mechanics that I think is going to be a little bit more of like the thing. So like that's like the idea. I know that like in the first iteration of this, that's going to be it's going to be like the first iteration that's going to be like a little bit mad. That's something that has been seen before. And it's like it has been played before, but like my objective is that like afterwards it's going to like have something else that's going to be a little bit different. So yeah. Oh wow. Thank you so much for something. I don't know. I cannot see the things. What is happening? Can I do like that and this? And what just happened? I lost my thing. What? What? I don't know. Like I got a notification. Did you follow? Oh, you followed. Well, it didn't show up anywhere. That is strange. Like usually, like follow. It didn't go up off like notifications on my side. You just saw it like on OBS. Oh, thank you so much for the follow. Um, like it is strange. Like oh, I know what happened. I got like the so that is very strange because you followed, right? And what happened is that I got my goal. I like achieved my goal of 50 followers, and I got that notification, but I didn't got the notification that you followed. It's I don't know. That's strange, but like thank you so much for the follows. So that's more or less like the idea that we're like kind of exploring here, and that's what we're like trying to build, basically. So yeah, like there's a lot of things that I have to learn. Like as like I'm a software engineer by profession, so I do know how to code, but I never coded a game, and I'm not very good in art. I'm not like very good in terms of art. Like I do have an idea uh, of what I would like it to look like, but I don't know if I have like the skills to do it. But we'll see. We'll see. Like step by step, I think we'll have to start going. So yeah. I think that the main like item shop games like it's always like a double-edged sword, right? Because there's it can become a little bit repetitive, right? um and as you were saying, like if there's nothing that happens, or like some other mechanics, like for example like Stardew Valley, like you have a bunch of other mechanics. You can go mine, you have like the social aspect, people play the game for the social aspect, or do this or do that. You need to have like different systems, or else maybe it becomes a little bit boring if you just have to do this one thing over and over again. So yeah, like I'm trying to see if I can make it a little bit more interesting, but we'll see. We'll find out where we are, right? All right. So where were we? The isometric movement didn't look like very isometric, right? Um, it looked isometric when we are outside. Okay, let me just try to get out of this collision. I need to fix this collision. Like it looks good when you're like when you're thinking it in this format, but that's not. Oh, you know what? Yes, because this is not like the tile size is different. So we're doing like 122 over 128 pixels. That's like the thing that we have. Okay, so so I'm just trying to do some math in my head. But basically, what we have is that our tiles are have like um oh, but I'm scaling them down as well. Now that I'm thinking about it, yes, I did scale them down. Where's the scale? Oh, this is not it. Did I scale them down directly on the tree itself, on the tile set? I remember that I had to do some things like manually rendering. So the rendering, terrains, miscellaneous. Like I forget, like the last stream I did change the tile map size. Oh, there you go. I scaled it by 0.05. So basically I have my tiles are of this size that it is here, right? Which is 222. So on size of tiles is a vector 2 of 22, 2222 and 256. And we are zooming it out by this amount, right? So var, so print, and this is going to be the size of our tiles. It's going to be that. So if I can delete you, I think. It's going to be 11 by 11.8. All right, so, and I think, can we just multiply it? Is this going to be enough? And we need to is this it? Like left. Let me see if I can do the same thing for the right side. And cut and paste. Okay. So if we did this, okay, can you please get out of there? Okay. Okay. Oh no, it's going even worse. It's even worse now. Okay. But we have an angle now. Right? So that's the more or less what's happening here. So if we did print the input direction, there we go, save that. And let's call this input direction. I think it's one of those. Oh, go away. Cool. And if you play this, and if you press, try to get you out of here. So like, let's minimize this a little bit. If we press boop, we see that when we pressed the button, can we maybe not print all of this if input direction is different than vector 2, 2? Like that to work. Okay, so the print is only going to print on that side. We don't need to print this one here. And current position, let's cut the current position. Okay, so play. Let's get you out of the way. Cool. So this up, down, you're good. So if we press right, we need to go a little bit less and a little bit more. Interesting. But what we were seeing before is that okay, this is okay. The direction, like the directionality is fine, but it needs to be a little bit less, I guess. Okay. So this is what we are multiplying it for. I'm a little bit confused here. So let's try something. We want, so like this is like the size of the tiles, right? And we are lowering the size of the tiles to be to be the to like the scale that we're doing. So we're scaling it down. So this will have like the size of the tile. And we're just like hilly-nilly multiplying it by this thing. Because basically what we were saying is that before, if we want to go to the right, it's like it's a one vector, so we just split it in half and half. And I think that's not the case, because when we want to go like more or less on this direction, right? So it means that this, we need to know like these two, right? And then calculate. We know. No, we just want to know like this piece here and that piece there. And the more we go to that side, the smaller the y, and the more we go to this side, the smaller the x. Okay. So my question is, are we going to... Is this going to give us, like, we need to make sure that this also gives us like 1. Oh wait, is this like this divided by 2? Divided by 2 and then have like negatives? Okay, let me just duplicate this. Oh, I cannot duplicate this like that. If we did that divided by minus 2 and this divided by 2. Oh wait, there's extra parentheses here. Oh, okay, this one. It's a vector of a vector of a vector. Look at that. Isn't that cool? So if we save this, what would this look like? Come on, let's try to get you out of here. Oh no, okay, cool. So right. Oh, this gives us exactly the same position, right? There isn't much happening. Okay, so let's revert all that. We don't want this extra vector. And there we go. What made you want to get into game development? That's a good question. I had an idea for a game that I like to like. I've been brewing that idea for the longest time. And then I just felt like, this is like too ambitious. I will never be able to do it, blah, blah, blah. And then in my head, I think I would not be able to do it, like, or it would take like a long time. So like I've been postponing this idea for some years now. And then I was like, yeah, it is fine, but I don't think that a massive multiplayer online RPG game, like an MMORPG, would be a good thing for like a solo developer to tackle. So I was just like, I kind of like abandoned that idea. So, and that is something that has been in my mind like for the longest time. But recently I just probably could call. Yeah, I think so too. And like recently, I was laid off like in August, and I started streaming. So basically, I stream games like basically my morning time. I stream games, and like I've been playing like different like factory building games and automation games. Like the last game that I've been playing like with my community and stuff has been Vintage Story, and I've been having like some fun on it. And I decided like, why don't I use like this opportunity to see how interesting would be to develop a game, since like I'm a little bit more like in the area, just like change a little bit, like let's call it like a little bit of a career change, um, and let's see how this goes. So I decided to do that, but nevertheless, like that big idea that I had, I was like, I cannot do that. And then I was like, I found a very interesting thing that I was like interested in doing and developing, but it still felt too big. It was more like of a city builder style game that eventually I hope that I will be able to do, but I feel like it is too much, too complicated for me to do as like a first project. And then I decided to go down and decided to like, well, let's do something smaller. And then I started thinking about like a different game. And then I was like, oh, this like farming idea that I have, it's something that I'd like to try. So maybe this is going to be like a small game that I can do, like, and then just like get blown out of proportions. And then it's like, and that was like more or less like the path that drove us like here. And then I was talking to my wife, and I was like if you want to try to develop a video game, just try to do it, but instead of like you being looking at your computer like in the afternoons, because I'm just streaming in the mornings for right now, instead of like why don't you just stream it as well? So like that's where all these things basically like spun out of. And yeah, I don't know, I might like it, I might not like it. I know there are like a couple of things that are very like that are not like in my aisle. Like for example, like I have a very hard time with like graphic side of things. But like the other day, I spent like I thought to myself, like, you know what would be cool? Like I'm always dying in Vintage Story. Like I just like I play the game, I'm constantly dying. It would be interesting to do like some sort of like a counter for my deaths on Vintage Story. And then I was like, okay, let's do it. So I popped up Blender, I fired it up, I started playing around with it. I made a counter for it, like for it. Does it look good? I don't know. I don't think so. Like it doesn't look great, but it was like I tried it and I was like, given that I am already like using some of these tools for developing that can be used also to develop games and graphics and stuff, why don't I just try to do the game? That's where like everything like kind of bubbled from. So that's more or less like that big story all the way to where we are now. And so like because of that, like I'm doing like smaller streams as well, like as a part of the afternoon time. Like for example, right now it's like 5 in the afternoon, and like it's time to go pick my kid from school. So the stream is going to end in a little bit. So like progress is going to be, I think, a little bit slow, but eventually I think I'm going to try to get there. So that's it. I'd really love to at least, even if like the isometric behavior, like let me just write here, like isometric is okay. This is Python. Forgot it. Okay, good. Isometric movement is not matching with the tiles because they are not they are not squares. They're not squares. So like need to make the direction calculation based on that. So there we go. I'll say that you are choosing a tricky first project. It's a niche style. Yes, it is like okay. So that this came like through multiple iterations as well. So I was like, so the game that I want to develop is this game that is going to be like some sort of like a city builder automation style game. So this is going to be like some sort of like 3D, and I definitely need. I think I'm gonna need something like Unreal to power that, because of like efficiencies on C++, and because like graphics usually like tend to like be more realistic, and I think that would be like something that I think it would match kind of the style of the game that I'm aiming for. At the same time, like I'm not sure if I'll be able to do graphics that will go there, but that was like my initial thought. So I started a project, I got it running, and then it crashed like 3 times Unreal in the first day, and I said, F it, I'm gonna use Unity. So I went to Unity and I like started Unity, and then Unity crashed multiple times in the same day. And I was like, I don't care about this anymore. I'm going back to like C++ and just like go do everything in Unreal, right? And then after some time, like I was talking to other people and like they convinced me to just like try Godot. And I said, okay, I'll try it. We'll see where it goes. Like if it solves our problems or not. And I was fixed on like a 3D approach to the game because I wanted to like prepare myself for the game that I wanted to do. So I thought that would be like a good idea to keep it 3D. But then I looked at the idea of like this smaller game that I wanted to do, like this farming game, and I was like, does it make any sense to make it 3D though? Because like I was not planning on having like terraforming or anything like that. So it would be, everything would be very flat. You just go like do some digging here, digging there. Like how much would it really be like helpful? It would be like third person view or something like that. That was at least what I was planning for. So it's like like Ents is one of like the people to blame here, and like that was where like I was like, it doesn't, I don't think the type of game makes sense to be done in like 3D. So I was like, but I don't want to do 2D. 2D feels a little bit like flat. And then like Ents did suggest like that maybe 2.5 would be like 2.5D, like isometric would be like an maybe a good like intermediate. So that's basically where we are. So like all like it feels like that all these stories have like a huge like all these steps have like a huge train of thought and things that happen in the meanwhile that made like where we are today. But that's kind of what happened. So you say like it's a little bit of a niche. I like Octopath Traveler. Let me just take a look. Like, yeah, let me check. Like, to be fair, I don't think Octopath Traveler. I feel like I did see this game before, like, or something around these lines. Yeah, I think like that was kind of what I was like somewhat aiming for, but I was like maybe like isometric could be like a good format for it. But yeah, like definitely this is kind of what I was like aiming for. Maybe it's not like so isometric as where I am right now. That's fair. It would be easier to work because like I don't think it's going to be like this, like the math in here is going to be a little bit more complicated all over the place because of like this. But like to be fair, like isometric is like it kind of feels a little bit like this style. It feels a little bit like it's not totally like it's not like 2D. It's like 2.5D. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good point that I haven't considered yet. I need to convert vectors a lot. Yeah, like to be fair, like I was looking at the if you're not graphically inclined. Love how you put that. You're not graphically inclined. Yeah, I think that's definitely perspective is essential. Yeah. I think like that some food for thought there. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. It would be actual, plus it would actually be actual 3D. Yeah. And that's what I kind of, in the end, that's like, I think that it would make more sense for me to have the ability to better like understand 3D as well. So okay, I think I'll have to like some train of thought, kind of the best way to learn 3D. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for us today. Like I didn't fix the collisions though. Like I'd love to understand what is happening with the collisions. I'm quite sure I just misclicked something that I shouldn't. So I'll have to find out what is happening here. Collisions input, and I got the collision node. Yeah, I don't know. All right, I think we're gonna be done for today. I have to go pick up my kid. Is a good rec, probably the best engine for anyone to use right now in most cases. I like in the fact that like this is basically Python. It also helps like if you have any like there's so many things like using Python nowadays. It makes it kind of easier like syntax wise. I understand the thing of like the publishing rights, but let's be fair. If you get to a point where you're doing like $1 million per year, I guess that like oh, giving like 100K, it's not like that much. I don't know. Like it feels like that if I could get to the threshold that allows me to have to care about paying like the folks from Unreal, I'd be a happy person. I don't like, at least that's how I see it in that sense. Yeah, like yeah, that's for sure. But like, there's no guarantees that like that can happen to everything, right? Oh, Neon Degen. He's saying like, but the game engine Godot will never expire. Like to be fair, like there was like it would not expire in like in Unity either, and then it happened what happened where they just changed everything, like and they just changed the ULA and say like, okay, if you want to use this, like you need to pay more money. They can revoke your license to use your game entirely if they wanted to. Like that's unfortunately like a situation that we um that can happen like for everything. That's like I think that's kind of the world that we kind of live in right now. It's very strange. Like for example, like the fact that you don't own any game and that at any given time like a platform can just pull it and you cannot play it anymore, or they have like because you need their servers to authenticate or something like that. It's just like yeah. It's like you're constantly in of like a moment like you're always kind of renting the software. Like you went to to Blockbuster. Was it No, it was not Blockbuster. Blockbuster, was it? Yeah. Yeah, you went to Blockbuster on a Friday, you rented up some videos, and then you have them at home forever. You don't have to pay anymore unless they tell you to bring them back. But that's like with everything that you have on your computer nowadays. So it's like, I don't know. In a music. Yeah, I think kind of is like that. Yeah. So I was renting dreams. Who knows? Like with like these like there's like I think we're starting to get like to like these goggles for augmented reality and stuff like that. And it's like these glasses that you use right now that are like yours, they'll say like, oh yeah, we'll not be able to make more lenses for you. You'll have to buy these glasses that are software and they adjust to your view, to your face, blah blah blah, and then you'll be stuck there. Or if we go with Neuralink and you start getting like advertisements while you sleep on your brain directly, that's going to be the future. Yeah, and it's like open source, like it's like a kind of a mixed bag, right? Because somebody has to pay for them, uh, right? Because, like for example, I'm a maintainer of one of like a stack of like software that is fully open source and is on the cloud native Cloud Foundry, and I was working for Broadcom, and while Broadcom was paying to maintain that software is maintained. But from the moment that it's not, that there you don't have like a corporate sponsor, it becomes very hard sometimes to maintain like open source software because somebody has to work on it and somebody has to make a living working on it, right? Not we're not all like Linus Torvald, right? That can make money out of open source. You can see like where it becomes where Neuralink it becomes mainstream. I don't know. It's yeah, it's pretty an invasive procedure, but like when you see the things that it does for people that like are have problem like moving and stuff like that, that's like completely game changer, right? If you're a person that cannot like move your arms, your legs or something, but you can still be perfectly active and do like things because your brain is still working, it is right now. I think it's like just like a medical level, but yeah, I wouldn't be like I don't know if we'll ever get there, but it might be something that will happen maybe one day, where it's like, oh yeah, you just need to be connected to Neuralink to make to drive your Tesla or something like that. Yeah, yes. It's like they are incompetent, like who they're like people that make these things. If the metaverse or whatever was super good, I would be happy to be in it. Yeah, like I think that it's interesting because like all the VR stuff, it's like interesting in some sense, but at the same time, I don't know. Like, would I be would I be like in my house, like being like on VR? I don't know. I don't know how would I feel about it. Never thought about it. I've heard like people like it's like pretty good. Like a lot of people really like it and to play some games and stuff like that. But I don't know. Like from the moment that I heard that people were trying to sell uh like plots of plots of space there for like crazy amounts of money and things like that, it's like people just make money with anything. You had to be a dev on the first. Sound like the great SAO. And happy customers just die. I do not know the anime SAO RPG, and if you die in real life. Oh, okay. I guess you haven't seen it, but it's like Matrix. I was just like searching it on the side, minus that part. Okay, interesting. Maybe including the last part. Oh, okay. You died in your game. Bye. That would make people like change the way they play their games for sure. All right, friends. I think that's going to be it for today. I need to go pick my kid from school. It's already late. Uh, what is your crazy thought? Let us hear it and think about it for the rest of the day. Drop 20k hours in OSRS. Like people do the craziest thing on OSRS. If you die in game, really matter. Like people like do a lot. Like right? Yeah, like you cannot stop. Like if you sleep, right? Like and if the game has like some mechanic that if you go to sleep, you go to sleep like in game, and if you're not asleep in the correct place, what happens? Just yeah, in real life, yeah. What do I think about that engineering? It depends on what you mean by like what are my thoughts. I think it's like an interesting thing. It depends, like, but it has like such a. I think it became like so inflated the data engineering like term that I'm not 100% sure. Do you really care if you die somewhere else? Oh my god. Ah. How many years of experience do you have in computing? Like that's like it depends on what you mean by computing, but like this new generation like kids that are already coming out when you ask this question is uh it's going to be how old are you? You're like 20 years old. Okay, you have 20 years of computing experience. Like I I remember when you're like talking to recruiters and stuff, and they are like, so do you ever worked with JavaScript? And it's like, but this is a Java position. What are you talking about? And it's like, oh no, yeah, Java, that thing, yes. Like people didn't know like what they were talking about. So those kinds of questions, like he's just like, I don't know. It's just like craziness, I guess. Ah, all right, people. I do have to go because I do have to go pick up my kid. So it was nice chatting with y'all, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Like I'll be live in the morning my time, like US 10 a.m. We'll be continue playing our Vintage Story uh, game like on our community server, and then the afternoons around like 3:30, I will start again our dev log, and we'll be continuing playing around with this game and see if we can build it pretty cool. All right, folks. See you all later. Thank you for the chat and for staying around. Bye for now.